Hello? Hello? The recording is on, right? Automatic. Okay. Hello?
Gunjan, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, Gunjan. No session. Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. May I know who this is?
Yeah, hi, this is Gunjan.
Hi, Gunjan.
Hi, you're Hemant, right?
This is Hemant here. Are we waiting for anybody? I mean, I think there are a couple of other people, right?
I'm not sure. I think Satish would be one. I'm not sure if he's going to join.
Yes. Yeah. Let's just wait for some time. I think Vishnu, Hima, and Gunjan. I got to know that three will be joining. Let's wait for a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Only Gunjan has joined. I'm waiting for the other two.
Gunjan is able to hear us?
Yeah.
Gunjan, hold on a couple of minutes. Okay, I think we can get started with Gunjan only. Go ahead and do you have any problems?
No,
Go ahead.
I was just
Start.
asking. Hello. Hello, Gunjan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get started. This is just an introduction session about what this SaaS admin is all about. Like, what are the responsibilities of a SaaS admin, and what in what direction one needs to proceed in order to learn something about being a SaaS admin, right? So it seems like you already have did some research on. So what from your point of view, what do you know about a SaaS admin? Have you gone through any stuff lately?
Yes. So I went through few of the requirements in the market, and they require SaaS admins to be quite knowledgeable when it comes to administration part is concerned. They want SaaS admins to be jack of all trades. So um, to be in short, so they want SaaS admins to have knowledge in SQL programming, at least table administration, part of manipulation. So basically DML, DDL, and DCL. So those kind of stuff you should be able to do, and DTL as well. So that is there. Part of it is also in BI. They are involved in business intelligence activities as well, where they might have to work on data warehousing. So that's expected from them to work on data warehousing. So uh, they must have some exposure to tools like SSRS, like reporting tools, like SQL reporting tools, or presentation tools, or SSIS. They might also be required to have some knowledge in SAS BI.
Okay. Okay, so let me just tell you whatever.
Somebody else is joining.
Is somebody joining?
Yeah, meanwhile conversation continues.
Yeah. So yeah, some of the requirements, they do say that they need SQL and everything else, but the core part, the core responsibility of an administrator lies on the administration part only. So it's good to have a programming background. It may help you in some time. Where it comes into picture is as a SaaS administrator, you may need to generate some reports, some audit reports based on your user activity or your server activities. So do you have any Unix knowledge? Unix. Okay. So I mean, you can talk. Is it any problem?
No, you can unmute yourself.
You can unmute yourself and let's have this as a discussion.
Sure. So actually, the reason why I'm not talking is that my mic is not very good, so my voice might drop.
So far, it's for us to hear you, but yeah.
But anyways, what I think is about Unix, I might be comfortable with command line interface. Basic commands, typing file, using.
So you have any prior work experience with Unix or?
Just some shell scripting commands, which are used for file manipulation.
In the normal search commands, the grep commands, the basic server monitoring commands. See, it's basically why I'm telling you is that all your SaaS servers, the servers are installed based on AIX, Unix, or Linux boxes. So even though you have some administration tools, some Windows tools to monitor all these activities, the majority of the work you do it from the Unix box itself. So when you have to do it, be good with certain commands. So why I said why I went into Unix is that when you said you need some SQL programming or any of the base SAS programming, so you you get to know the server status, or weekly reports, how the server is functioning, like what is the disk space, what is the memory utilization. So what you do is you take out that report and feed it to your data sets, and try to pull out the report. That's the basic SAS data step and proc step you might be aware, right? So there it needs it, but not much. You don't worry about that. But it's good to have the SQL knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. I think Sweta is also in. Hello. Hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I guess like I was late by 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. We were just discussing about what is this admin all about. So I will just give you a brief introduction about what an admin does. So for SAS, so you have any SAS background? You guys have the programming background, or any acquaintance with SAS platform?
No, but I'm aware of the sequel.
Okay, so you're very much new to SAS itself?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let me share my screen. Let me know if is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
So the SAS platform as it is, why is this SAS so important? Like, why is it called an intelligent platform? Is because it provides all range of solutions. So from the data, from pulling the data from your transactional database, and doing an ETL on that. So there are different phases from pulling the data to reporting or analyzing. So what are the phases? Like you have ETL, where extract transform load happens, and then you take that data, you aggregate it based on cubes or whatever it is, and then from the cubes you do the reporting. So based on the reports you do the analysis. So these are like 4 or 5 steps which are very, all the data analysts, they depend on such information. So what SAS does is it provides an end-to-end infrastructure for all these, right from your ETL to the analytics. All the solutions are provided by SAS. So every developer, or the developer, you have ETL developers, you have cube developers, and you have a report generation team, and you have analysts. So they all work on different applications. What a SAS administrator, as a SAS administrator, what you do is you make sure that the environment is up and running for them. So they use different softwares, different applications to get the work done. So your prime responsibility as a SAS administration, so you work behind the scenes to just make sure that the environment is up and running for them. So for that, what is important for you is to know the architecture of the SAS platform. So what is this SAS made up of? What is running behind it? Like how are these applications running? What are the servers which they are running upon, and how are they connected? Where is the data going? So all these things is what you should be aware of. For that, SAS architecture is very important. So it's so this is what an administration act. This is what an admin does basically. So he takes care of the users. I mean, whenever a user comes in, so you take care of your user access right from the start, like from giving him access to making sure that the security is enabled on all the applications, and to see that the servers are up and running every time. If there are any issues, to troubleshoot them, uh, to the delivery of the product. So development activity is being taken care from different teams, but your activity is mostly the administration. So this is basically, I'll just give you an like overview about architecture. I'll not get into what are the servers individually. So it basically has a 4 tier architecture. This is a 4 tiers. So the main is the SAS server tier, which is the soul of the SAS. And as you can see, these are the client applications with which a developer works. So these are some of the web-based clients which the developers use, and these are the desktop clients, the Windows desktop clients. So in order for these desktop clients or the web clients to work, they need to communicate with the SaaS servers in the background. So several different servers are there. We will get into detail in later sessions, but so in order for these client applications to work, there needs to be SaaS servers running in the background. So that gives a brief introduction about what these SaaS servers are. So what is this middle tier is? This middle tier is especially for the web applications to communicate with the SaaS servers. You don't need a middle tier for the desktop clients. Only for the web clients, you need a middle tier to interact with the SaaS servers. So these three servers, these three tiers are pretty straightforward. Coming to that, the other one is the data source. So where are you going to where are you going to store your data? Whatever the data you generate or whatever the data you want to use to analyze, all these data is stored in data sources. So that is again a separate tier. So SaaS server tier interacts with your data tier to get the information for all the applications which the users are using in the client tier. So that's how it is. It goes. So you can see it clearly here.
Any questions here? Are you clear? Hima and Gunjan?
You guys have any?
Sometimes it may be abstract initially, but you go back to it again and understand. So multiple tiers, and what is the role there for you in that?
That's what I mean. You make sure that if this is the architecture, what you have to, as a SaaS administration, what you do is you make sure that all these servers are well maintained. You monitor these servers, you configure these servers as per your needs, you install these servers and make sure that the servers are up and running every time, and if there are any issues, you troubleshoot them, and you make sure that you enable these particular data sources to be connected to your SaaS tier. So whether it could be your SaaS data sources, or it could be your third-party Oracle, SQL, Teradata, Hadoop, any data sources, you as a SaaS administrator should be able to configure those external data sources to your SaaS tier. And
so first is installing, then configuring and maintaining.
Maintaining, monitoring, and maintaining. And
so for doing all these things, what is it like? You're going to use any
tool?
Or
yes, we have a centralized tools like for different tools. Like for installing and configuration, we use SaaS deployment wizard, which comes with the SaaS. Whenever you order the software, it comes, the executable will be there inside.
Okay.
And for majority of the tasks, we use SaaS management console, which from where you can make the server manager. You have different plugins, one for server manager, one for the metadata manager, and one for the libraries. I mean, we are not getting into detail as to what these libraries and all, but you can manage almost everything from the SaaS management console. But if you have to troubleshoot these servers or check the logs, check the memory status or disk space utilization, you have to get into your Unix box or AX box and give some certain Unix commands to get the status. So that's where Unix comes into picture. So
any questions here?
I have a question. So in order to manage that, so do we need to have a thorough knowledge on the Unix commands, or basic knowledge should be fine?
No, the better, the good, the better. I mean, as much as the commands, what's with the commands is the more you use, the more prolific you become with these commands. So on a daily basis, an administrator use commands. You need not be, I mean, it's good to have a shell scripting knowledge also, but not very much of shell scripting is used. But the commands such as how to find the disk space, df, right? How to check what are the process running, the top commands, the grep commands, So the basic commands is good, and you need to know where to use those commands.
Okay.
So chmod. So certain commands we use on a regular basis.
Okay.
And whenever we do this, what kind of troubleshooting tasks? Like I was going through some documentation, so they have some procedures that we need to follow, especially for metadata server and workspace server. So we as an administrator, do we need to configure and maintain the metadata server?
Yes, metadata server is the heart of your SaaS system. So what is a metadata server is nothing but every suppose suppose there is a user, you created a user, right? So the user is created in the form of an object in the background. You created a data set. That data set, the information is about this data set is created in the form of an object. So every particular thing which you do in a SaaS environment is in turn converted into an object. This object contains the information about that particular thing. That is the metadata, right? Metadata is nothing but the data about the data. So all these objects are put it in are collectively kept in a repository that is called a SaaS repository, and a metadata server contains these SaaS repository. So whenever a client whenever suppose you are using enterprise guide and you need you are working on some program, right? When you execute that will go to your metadata server and check for those objects in the repository, and that's how it fetches the result. If it has to interact with any external data sources, it redirects to external data sources and gets you the information. So metadata server is pivotal. Any request, any process has to go through your metadata server.
Okay. One more question. As a SaaS admin, do we also have to do part of SaaS BI? Because
See, we don't do, I mean, as far as I know, SaaS see, there are some organizations who make their developers as administrators or administrators as developers. That's a dual role they do. But in a larger organizations, you have a specific, administrator. They don't do the BI activities, but they need to have knowledge about the BI tools. So these are all the BI tools which you're seeing, right? Enterprise Guide, Data Integration Studio, Information Map Studio. These are all the business intelligence tools of SaaS. So as an administrator, what you do is you maintain these client applications. You make sure that the user is able to access that client applications. These client applications are interacting properly with the servers in the background, and if there are any user issues with respect to the client, so you need to know what these applications do on a broader level. You don't have to go and create a job or create a flow or create an information map, but you just need to know what are the options in that, like what it does basically. That's what a BI knowledge is meant when they say knowledge about BI tools. You need to know how to administer those tools.
okay.
So I mean, this is what I was telling you. Like this is the client component. For example, this is your enterprise guide or whatever it is, DI Studio or Information App Studio. When you process anything like from this application, it will go to your metadata server, and it will see what data source are you trying to access. You are trying to access as an Oracle or a Teradata, so correspondingly it will go there and fetch the result for you, and again give it back to the client console. This is for the client tier. So this is for the desktop application. What if it's a web client? You have Web Report Studio and BI dashboards also. There are web clients as well. So for the web clients, there is another thing which is middle tier, right? We told middle tier. So this web server or Citrix server are a part of middle tier. So before reaching the request to the metadata server, it goes through your middle tier, whether it's Citrix server or web server, and from there it goes to metadata server, and from here it goes to different data sources and gets you the result. So that's what it is basically. So it is important for you to know the architecture, to make it simple for you. What so you understood what an administrator does. What are the responsibilities of an administrator? That is very important for you to know before you get into this, because this is not development. This is not something you get a requirement and you work on it and you do it. It is something about the whole infrastructure. You have to know about all the aspects of a SaaS and enterprise BI platform, enterprise platform. So these are all things you need to have. I don't want to get into these all these things. So this is how a SaaS management console looks like. So this is a SaaS management console, and you have several different plugins here with which you can administer different. You have metadata manager. You can see it, right? So you have user manager where you will manage all the users, groups, and roles. So, so on a daily basis, on a regular basis, what a SaaS administrator, what are the roles and responsibilities of a SaaS administrator? You take any job description, it's going to be more or less the same thing, but because any SaaS administrator has to do the same tasks, he has to take care of user management, right? He has to make sure that the security is intact. Then he has to make sure that the application, that the servers are up and running, the monitoring, maintenance of the SaaS servers. And then you will take care of job scheduling. If there are any jobs that needs to be scheduled, the job management also is done by the SaaS administrator. And there are other metadata, more of the metadata related tasks, which I don't want you to which I don't want to tell right now, that may confuse you, but these are on a broader level. These are the tasks which an administrator does. So did someone ping anything? I am not seeing the tasks. So all the servers are located in the separate physical servers. No, not necessarily. When you install,
Tell them how to spend in next 2 days.
yeah, I'll give them the link to. I have found a link for the SaaS architecture introduction. I'll give you.
I'll give you the email address. You can share the software.
Okay.
What is?
I think better for them to go through certain documents and have an idea before taking the software.
Okay then. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So see the softwares. Where are they? No, all the servers are installed basically on a single server. It depends. For some organizations, they install on a multiple server, but usually it's one server. Whether it could be. Just a second. So one server is fine, when you all these middle tier and everything will be installed on the single server. Is there anything else? So do we need installation and application migration? Yeah, most of the time the installation and installation is done by the SaaS Institute. They take care of the installation, is what I got to know from my other trainers as well. But at an interview level and a job description, they ask you to, they'll see if you have any idea about it. It's good to have installation and upgradation knowledge, but most of the time it is done by them. Migration, yes, you take care of migration. If you run into any issues, if you don't get if you're having any roadblocks, we need to talk to the SaaS support team, and they'll help us. VMware administration, I'm not sure what VMware administration actually means, but could be anything like, what I guess it is like, you don't go and install all the client applications on everybody. What do you mean virtual server? I didn't get it. See, what is VMware administration? I'll tell you what I think it is most of all the client applications are installed on a machine, and you give access to all your users to a through a remote machine, right? You don't go and install all these applications on everybody's machine. So you install it on a single machine and give access, remote access to that particular thing. So they might, what in this point of in this thing, what it means is could be that, so but not of high importance is what I think. Most important thing is your server administration, metadata management, installation and configuration, user management, scheduling. So these are the tasks: backup and restore activities, import and export. These are the activities which one needs to focus on as a SaaS administrator. Windows Server administration. See, your server, the SaaS servers could be installed on a Windows server, Windows operating system, or a Unix operating system. So Active Directory, yeah. I mean, when it comes to user access, you may need to have a certain knowledge about. It's good to have knowledge about Active Directory, authentication systems, the LDAP mechanisms, but that's not a core part. I mean, that is something which can add on to you. You can put as an add-on. External authentication which you do, you can use Active Directory. So what I'll do is, so this is a very good. See, you have every documentation on the SaaS support website. Okay, so SaaS support, just Google any document you want and you'll find it. So I'll give you this link. So what this does is it will start from like what is a SaaS intelligent platform. So you just go through, as you can see, you can browse the content from here. So just go through what it is and focus more on what is this SaaS architecture and what are these tiers. So all these tiers are explained in detail here. So go through as many as you can from this index. So this is a very good documentation which you need to know before you proceed any further. So did you guys get the link, or you want me to mail it separately? Okay, Hima, are you there? Hello? Hello? Hello, Hima? Unix material, you can basically browse, you can go through some of the videos on YouTube, but I think Satish will be able to give his he has a Google site for himself, so in that you can find some really good material about that. Yeah, I mean, see, Unix is not a big deal. You can just go through all the commands and how you can by heart those commands, but you need to know where it is used and what is the syntax. So for that, yeah, Satish can give you those documents, no problem with that. But I don't think that is a big problem for you to know it. You can master it. Um, what is that? Live MC? What is that? I didn't get it. No, we don't have a setup for a Unix system where you can log on and check check that. But I think if you have an Apple Mac, you have that shell open. You can just practice there, or you can if you have a Windows machine, just download and install any of the Linux operating systems, and you can practice there. No, I mean you have it on Mac. I think you just Google it how to PowerShell. I think you have it in utilities. In utilities, I suppose. Yeah, you have this terminal. You can see right terminal. This is since Mac is built on Unix, you can use this to try out some basic commands.
So you mean to say like I need to Google it on and install the app?
You have Mac?
Yes, please.
It's already there on Mac. You have terminal already on Mac. You can find it on utilities. I just showed you, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
you can find it on it's utilities. You can see it here. You'll have a terminal, but I've never tried it. I just tried out some out of curiosity. I just listed down the directories and all. So don't mess it up with any configuration files of your Mac and screw up your machine. Just see if you can. I just know that there is a terminal some here which can help you
Because
practice.
I couldn't locate it.
What version of Mac you use? Mac Pro or latest or the old one?
The old one, the Mac Pro.
Okay, just Google it. I mean, whatever the version you have, just Google it and see where can I find the terminal.
Sure.
So you guys understood. I mean, did you guys understood what exactly is this administration about, and what you guys can expect from this course or from your career point of view? Like, have any doubts as such with respect to that?
Yes, I do have a doubt. So typically, how long I mean, in the real time, how long will we be given in solving the tickets or the jobs?
To be honest, I'll tell you with respect to my experience, but I'm not a SaaS admin before. I just started learning SaaS administration course
Okay.
from August first week. Yeah, it's been like,
August, right?
sorry?
I mean, August 16, right?
Yeah, this August only. This August first week, I started seriously preparing on the SaaS administration. So, but what I can tell you is SaaS administration is a critical uh, job, right? Mission critical. So you have two types of administration tasks. One is a ticketing system, and one is the incident management. Right? I think ticketing or incident is the same thing. We have change management also.
Okay.
So if you have a user request saying like somebody needs an access, or somebody needs an access to a server, or they need access to a library, some simple task like this, or something like that, you can do it. You follow a procedure, and it has some, like, 1 day time to do it. But if it comes to, if the server is down,
Okay.
or any machine critical things, like, the from EG you are not able to connect, from enterprise guide is not working, or the configuration file got corrupt, or anything as such, you will have to start acting right from the moment go. There is no space, there is nothing, there is no time left for you, because all will be down. Like, everybody will be waiting for your solution. So all, not just they're not just some developers, right? All across your organization, whosoever are connecting to the metadata server or the SaaS applications, they'll all the work will be stalled. So there is not much downtime left for you to work on.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, my question was, just in case if we couldn't make it, so do we be having any documentation in regards, like, how to resolve it?
Documentation, see, administration does, it's not like there are certain you'll get, you cannot say you'll get the same type of error every time, right?
Okay.
You may get any type of error, but for the standard troubleshooting, there is certain documentation in SaaS. There is a SaaS user community which can give you, if you are interested, you can just go through. There are many user queries. They post their queries, and there's the solution for those queries. You can go through that. And in a real time, see, it depends on the organization. For you, they already expect you to be a 6 years experience or 7 years experience. So you don't expect. So it's not right. I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to go and ask them if there is any reference documentation. They expect you to find a solution for that, right? Maybe you'll have a discussion with them, but I don't think in an organization they will have. I mean, if there are any prior incidents happen, if there are many, so about, I mean, I did work on a different project, but whenever there was an issue, we made sure that we documented what was the issue, what was our solution, and what went wrong, and something like that. So yeah, they do have, but I don't think that will be helpful for you at that point of time when the issue comes in. Most of the time, you go through the logs, you try to figure out what the issue is, discuss with your team, and if it is beyond your hands, I mean, you're not able to resolve it, you will contact SaaS technical support.
Okay.
So what are you guys like? What is your background? Um,
Like, I am a master's graduate in information systems management
okay. From which university?
from Virginia International University in Virginia, Fairfax.
Okay. Prior to that, you had any work experience?
I did work in healthcare industry, but I don't have any prior experience of working in IT.
Okay. Then I think he has typed not much work experience in SaaS from NJIT. Okay. So that's it from today, guys. From me today, guys. I mean, any doubts in general you have about this particular SaaS administration, or?
So where can we find, I mean, the material to prepare? I mean, like, which, is there any specific website or anything?
See, whatever you want, everything is available in the SaaS support.saas.com.
Okay.
Okay.
So how
All you
about
have
the
to
Unix?
all Unix, I told you, right? I mean, Satish will be able to guide you. He will give you certain documentation or certain YouTube videos which will help you. You can just go like, SaaS, for example, SaaS architecture. Documentation. So it will take you to the by default it will take you to the support.sas only. So most of the things you'll have it here only. And there are certain very good blogs also. There are very good blogs which can help you if you want to know more in detail about this particular thing. Yeah, for me, I have completely gone through the support.sas website only. All the documents, I mean, you can see there's plenty of documents which I've downloaded, and SAS admin material. These are all the guides. For every tire there is a separate guide. For security there is a separate guide. So that goes like that. You will start with system administration guide, which contains administration about everything, but I went through that first. But for you to understand it in a more proper way, easier way, I gave you that link, right, which gives you an idea about SAS architecture. After that you go through the system administration document, so that will be easier for you to understand. So it's a for complete 600-page document. So these are like huge, I mean, big documents. You'll have to be patient with it, and you'll have to go through those documents on a regular basis, and I'm sure it will be.
Send the link once again because I haven't received it.
You get it now?
Yes, yes.
Kunjan, you were asking something. You're in the middle of something. You cannot create all those issues on a real-time environment, on a practice environment. You just have to go through those, whatever blogs or documentation which SAS provides. Even SAS management console, you say. Not many, not many. I mean, the basic issues you can replicate and try to solve. But in an interview, they will ask you they may ask you, like, what are the problems which you have faced, and what were the production issues you have resolved. So by that time you should be able to make up some of the issues which you have resolved, and but I don't think in practice you can replicate those issues. And once you have this complete architecture knowledge and how and what everything performs, even if you are put into certain situation, you may not be able to give the right 100% solution, but at least you should be on the right path to providing that solution. You should be heading in the right direction. Like, you should be able to give them the scenario, like, go and check the logs first, and then take up your backup. You have the most recent backup, recover from that backup, you stop all the servers. Your procedure for the solution must be good. See, practicals, what I'll just, I didn't want to get into that much of a detail. So when it comes to yeah, they might ask you, they'll ask you what are the issues you have faced. Walk us through any of the bigger challenges you faced in your work environment, and what if the metadata server goes down, what would be your procedure, and have you done any backups and restores? Do you restore your environment? Or what is your change management system? How do you promote your code from development to production? So all these all these are real-time scenarios, and they expect you to walk through the steps. So in the practicality, what you do is you create users, you create groups, you assign them to groups, and you assign respective roles to those users, and you take care of tickets, you take care of user issues, and you monitor the servers, server management, as I told you, and you schedule the jobs, and you make sure that the jobs are running properly. If there are any jobs which are running for more time, you intimate the user, and you kill those unnecessary jobs, make sure that the disk space is cleared up so that the jobs are, I mean, all the file systems, they only have, you make sure that they are not exceeding 85% of the disk space. So all these things which we do, library management, metadata management, I don't want to get into details. You should know what a library and a metadata means. So there are many metadata management tasks which we do from the SaaS management console. So these all we can practice from establishing a connection, registering a server. We can all practice this on the SaaS management console. Is there anything else? I don't know who will be taking the training, but yeah, one who will be taking the training should be able to help you, working with the SaaS management console and they doing those admin tasks. That's not a big problem. Even you will be able to know once you have the software and you just go through it, you should be able to do it. You just have to know your server details and port numbers and all those details, and yeah, that's not a big deal. Yeah, it's good to have it's always good to have extra knowledge. I mean, nobody says that they don't need somebody with program knowledge. As I told you, like when you are creating libraries, when you are assigning libraries, or when the user runs into some issues with enterprise guide or something like that, you may need programmer skills. The basic SaaS programming is always good to have. See, I mean, I can't tell you like you need to know this, you need to know that. Yeah, you should be able to write the basic proc equals, macros, like base level, right? That's what I'm saying. Like you the the base SaaS is always good to have, and in advanced SaaS, it's like macros. You'll be using certain proc statements, some already predefined procs you'll be using, so you should be knowing like how to use them, the basic syntaxes. Yes. For example, to know the license expiry date of your SaaS software, you give certain proc, right? Proc set in it, proc set in it. So you should know how to what is the proc and how you should run, what is the syntax and all. The basic stuff. It's good. The more the better. That's the only thing I can tell you. But we should be more focusing on the admin tasks. What commands? See, this is just an see, I don't know much about the programming. I'm like you, okay? I have come from a different Oracle background and I'm into SaaS administration. So I just gone through the base SaaS stuff. So I know as much as what you know. So I'm trying to figure out what are all the things which a SaaS administrator uses. But for you to begin with, you should more, if you really want to get into this administration, you should be more focusing on the architecture, how is the SaaS built upon, and how it functions. So it would be easy for you to troubleshoot.
So you were into Oracle development, right?
Yeah, I'm an Oracle BI developer. Prior to I came here, I worked for 4 years there, and now I'm into SaaS administration.
So Will your Oracle BI knowledge help here as well?
I don't think, I don't know. See, it's like an inherent thing. You don't know how much of it is useful. Maybe subconsciously somewhere I am using that knowledge. More of a work experience knowledge, it comes into picture, because when I worked on Oracle BI, I worked on Unix platforms. So the directory structure, the commands, that is more of useful for me. And I worked on BI, so I have SQL knowledge. So that is kind of, that will help me if at all any issue comes into me, comes into my queue. And I know the change management and incident request, how the organization works, how an issue can be resolved, like what are the communication levels, what are the communication things you have to handle. So this is all like what a work experience will teach you. More than the technical knowledge, I think what would help me here is my work experience.
So, will you be able to guide us with how change management, incident management, and ITIL, basically how an ITIL methodology is applied in production systems?
Yeah, the basic change management, how a request is raised and how it goes through multiple systems. Yeah, I can walk through the generic change management system followed in many organizations, how the ticketing system goes through, and how as an admin you take care of those requests.
So I assume that because you are a BI, so you must also be aware with SSRS and SSIS.
So those are Microsoft BI technologies. I said I'm into Oracle.
Yeah. But Oracle also has similar, right? Reporting
Yeah.
and
SSIS is an integration tool what you have used for ETL, right? And SSRS is reporting. So similarly, I used Oracle Hyperion is what reporting technology I worked on.
Okay. So that will also help you here, right?
I didn't get your point. What you're trying to relate with SSIS and SSRS?
No, the reason why I was relating all this is because as I said yesterday, I went through some of the job descriptions, and there, with an experience of 5 years or more, they expect candidates to know all this stuff.
Yeah, that is SAS BI. That is not SSIS and SSRS, I'm sure, because SAS BI, whatever I said is, you don't need to have a programming or a developing knowledge. You need to have a knowledge about the SAS BI tools which the developers use. The enterprise guide, the enterprise miner, the data integration studio, the information map studio. You should be having an idea of that. Other than that, I don't think, if at all the job portfolio is a programmer slash administrator, you would need that. But if you
wouldn't need that. No, SSIS is not at all there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
context. Saying. If you are going in this direction, but if you are becoming an Oracle developer or something, then then those things will come into picture. So if you have all that knowledge, you have to shed away those things. Slowly forget those things.
You have to unlearn many things. Yeah. The process of unlearning.
Yeah, you have to unlearn those things and then learn new things.
But what I'm telling you is the idea of learning remains the same. Once you learn one technology, all the other technologies, they are more or less the architecture or the way they function is like not same, but you are on the similar terms only. So you do not. So
you have to, that's
I think, okay.
Continue like this, will go. But,
so, Hemant, one last thing. What should be our next steps now? You already told us that we should read the documentation. But apart from that, as a training point of view, and
see, as a training point of view, what I would suggest is, before getting into majority of the documentation or going through a lot of stuff, I want you to understand the architecture and the higher level responsibilities of a SAS administrator. Okay, what he does. So for that, whatever the architecture document I have given, that should help you. And so just go through that, and we'll go step by step from there, because there are many documents. If I flood you with those documents, you'll be confused. So go through those.
That's why I was wondering, because I just downloaded that
System administration.
Yes, system administration document, and I was like, wow. Because I was acquainted to MCSA, I was acquainted to Microsoft Server Administration. So
okay, it's good. It's good to have Microsoft Server Administration.
Yeah, so I was finding some correlation with that. So that's why I was like, wow, there is like, but yeah.
I think.
If I have any questions, all questions are for only Gunjan.
Hima, she had some questions. Yeah.
Okay.
I think her doubts are cleared.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to provide some.
They need some Unix material. Your data.
I'll bring that onto this and put it here. Unix as it is, if you have to learn, it's going to be expensive, little bit. But I'll see whatever I have, I'll share it with you. But again, Unix also, you don't have to be an expert. You are not a Unix coder. Remember that you are not a Unix developer. But basic commands of Unix you must be knowing. So I'll share something on that. Whatever I have. Okay.
And Satish, for SAS exposure, can you give us some brief introduction to SAS programming? That way, we'll be in a good condition to do whatever.
Only SAS, you have to know all products of SAS you should know. So for that also you should be able to find from YouTube, but I'll bring them together and put it at one place and share it with you guys.
Sure, sir. I appreciate that. Like Hemant said, Satish, part of the commands that are used for SAS, as a admin, for reporting or for using procs.
Yes.
So can you give us some brief introduction, or something that could help us get through with that?
What?
That is, you don't have to worry about that. As and when you are progressing on your learning in administration, you will get to know those commands by yourself in the documentation. So me or Satish cannot just pinpoint like these are the commands which you need to learn. And so going through the documents, you'll understand like what are the commands which a regular SAS administrator uses, the procs, which procs they use, or which statements they run to check that.
Yeah.
And Hemant, I have one question.
Yeah.
Can we go through the little SAS book? Is it worth it while referring that?
That is for programming, right?
Yeah, that is for programming. So one thing, Hima, so what one can do is, you can even come up with a resume saying that you are initially SAS programmer and became SAS administrator. If that is the story that you are telling, then you can continue to learn SAS, but you need not have to be like other SAS programmers who are working here or anybody. But yeah, anything related to SAS, base SAS, and some advanced SAS knowledge is, you can claim that you started as a SAS programmer in an organization and build up your resume and became developer, something like that. Okay, so that helps. Because SAS book helps, and also whatever that basic SAS training going through, that is also same.
Okay, so my question was like, because in the little SAS book we would be having a few commands saying for the like proc or something like that. So I was just referring in that case.
No, I mean that little SAS will help you learn SAS programming. So if you want to learn SAS programming, then you can do that. But as an administrator, you don't do SAS coding.
Okay.
But having that also helps.
Okay, so in that case, so where could we find like this proc set in it, such commands? So is there any specific book like where we can go through it through online or some means?
See, that's what I said. Everything will be in the SAS documentations, in the support, which I gave you the link, right? So as and when you're learning, you're progressing, you'll get to know those terms in the documentation only. There only they will provide, to know the license information. This is the commands we use. So somebody will not just list down these commands and say like these are what you use. but installation you use certain commands, in a configuration you use certain commands, in the administration you use certain commands. They come in the respective documentations.
Okay.
Okay.
One last question. Just I wanted to. I did some research yesterday about how SAS is progressing, and how other data programming and BI tools are also competing with SAS in the market. So, Satish, this question is also directed to you.
Satish is on another meeting, and I'll have to wind up this meeting because there's some other meeting needs to be taking place.
But still, just wanted to know your last thoughts. How long will a SAS as a tool be used in organizations? Because with R and Stata, all these new BI tools coming into picture, what do you think would be the future of SAS? Because I was going through some documentation and articles online, and I was just a little curious. So, as a SAS admin, expert SAS admin, how would that work out? And if there is a short life to SAS, or based upon what it is, what might be.
I don't know much about that. I haven't whatever will ought to happen will happen. So any technology is not going to be there for this thing. So everything which advances on a regular period of time will stay. Oracle technologies, I worked on Oracle technologies, and now I moved on to SAS. So SAS provides complete solutions with a support. When you said R and something else, they are all open source. They don't have a customer support. When you run into an issue, nobody will support. You have user communities, but they don't have a structure support. But as far as I know, maybe Satish may be able to give you more information on that. But as far as I know, SAS is one of those comprehensive tools with a good organization backup, which still a lot of organizations use, and which they will still use it because they have that backing from the SAS organization. So it is very long time, my friend. These technologies, they don't just vanish like that. What we need to focus is on like how much.
Exactly, because this technology started in 1970s. SAS started in 1970s. That's
Anything on the admin point of view I can help you with other than that? So,
no problem. Thanks a lot.
I'm running late actually.
Oh, no problem. Anyways, when are you free? I would like to come and meet you sometime.
I don't know. I'll have to, because I stay at my place. I come whenever Satish requires me. Just let Satish know, and maybe we can talk over that.
Sure, no problem. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Hima. Thanks.